Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for everybody on the channel who has been consistent and committed to showing up in lives and having chats and being there even when it's been a minute since I have last posted a video. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, and I particularly appreciate it because when I come on and have chats with you on the live, it's a great kind of a feeling of connection with others who are, maybe on this journey, have the same kind of idea of changing mindsets, our nervous system regulation, of showing up in a way that we can overcome certain things in our reality and circumstances, because we can. Everything is just a thought, and how we choose to actually navigate that thought is kind of ultimately how we end up creating in our reality. So thank you so much everyone for being here, and I have posted the new times on the community tab for the live sessions for anyone who's interested. The live sessions are not kept up for viewing afterwards because we want to come on and really kind of connect with each other in a vulnerable way, and not kind of worry about maybe our names kept up afterwards or our comments kept up afterwards. So we can just come on in the moment and kind of just let out whatever is going on. Maybe we don't have anything going on and we just kind of enjoy having a conversation about manifestation, nervous system regulation, personal development. It doesn't have to be about specific manifestation things, because manifestation is something that we're always doing. It's always coming from the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind is where we connect to the infinite intelligence and where we are actually creating from in a dominant kind of way. Excuse me. So with that being said, I wanted to chat a little bit about persistence when it comes to manifesting or anything that we're changing in our life. So when it comes to persistence, and I know that when we look at persistence, it can be like, I've manifested it already. It's already here. If I'm going to persist in it in this way, well then am I telling the universe that I don't believe that it's already here? But persistence is not about it's not about not accepting that the desire is already here. The persistence is the changing of the program that's in our subconscious mind, but the changing of who we are as a person. So the more we tell ourselves something, the more we're going to start showing up in our habits, in our behaviors, and in our actions that kind of lead us into what it is that we're desiring, but also builds us into the person who is able to overcome any setbacks we get along the way, to be able to show up in a more kind of stronger, self-sufficient and stable kind of way, because we've done the work with our nervous system. We've persisted through positive thoughts or positive assumptions, and we've also persisted through the idea that it's okay to have negative thoughts and emotions at some point as well, because it's part of the living experience. There's no light without darkness. There's no day without night. There's a kind of a polarity always going on in the universe. And while we kind of lean towards the more positive way, it does not mean that we're never going to have some sort of doubts or whatever along the way. So I wanted to kind of just bring up that kind of idea on persistence. When we see it, look at it as a way of maintaining and sustaining anything that you are actually desiring to create in your life. Persistence is something that is the kind of crux of everything in terms of what it is that we are going to create. And when we look at it from a positive perspective, when we persist in the positive, even when we are overcoming challenges, and even when we're overcoming maybe negative thoughts, or we're not believing in ourselves or believing in the outcome, the persistence is what will build the faith. And the faith is the strongest thing then that we can have to pull us into whatever it is that we're creating. So I know that when we're manifesting things, and sometimes when we're manifesting things, it can seem far off, but everything as we know it is in the present moment. And when we look at anything in a way that is we're putting kind of time on it, I suppose, saying that it's going to take this amount of time to do this and this amount of time to do that. And we're putting limits on it in those moments. So all we kind of have to do is remember that it is in the present moment, and what we're really doing when we are achieving something is preparing our mind to receive it. So the more we expand our mind and our heart to whatever it is that we are wanting to receive, the easier it is for us to receive. So for instance, when we have limiting beliefs, it can be in any area of our life, abundance, love, health, whatever. If we have limiting kind of beliefs around these kind of areas, when something comes into our life that is magnificent or whatever it is that we are desiring, we don't tend to hold on to it in the same way that we would if we didn't have limiting beliefs. So what I mean by this is that we will kind of self-sabotage unknowing to ourselves, because our nervous system doesn't recognize it as safe. So let's say, for instance, we are somebody who has maybe never had a couple of €1,000,000 or dollars in our bank account. And then all of a sudden it's in our bank account, and we've lived a life so far with never having this money. So if we have lived a life so far with never having this money, we would have had a kind of a mindset that actually was not able to kind of plan out how to accumulate this money, for instance. So when we don't have the proper mindset put in place for financial stability, we will tend to do things. We will maybe spend it too quickly, or we won't know how to invest it properly, or there'll be all these kind of things where we may be enjoying the greats of it in the moment, but it will kind of dissolve itself quicker than it would if we had better kind of beliefs around a money mindset. So on this topic, a money mindset can be created with having no money in your bank account at all. And how you create a money mindset would be to do with how you kind of allocate different kind of things for your financial stability. So it's not so much the amount of money, for instance, that you are putting into your accounts. It's how you actually allocate your money when you have it. So you can have different accounts for different things, and it sets up this kind of financial kind of flow that is coming in and out of your life. And when you get into the flow of the financial stability, that is when you kind of attract it into your life. So you can even do these things with having limiting beliefs, but it's about the actions that you take when in terms to your kind of positive observations, positive thoughts and perceptions that actually ultimately create what it is that you're going to attract into your life. You can email me at any time if you have any questions about this or comment down below, but I just wanted to bring up the topic of persistence because it is important, and it is something that is basically the way that we actually achieve everything. I mean, we can't really do anything in life without persistently going for it, or persistently growing and achieving and all of that kind of thing. It's like we're evolving. Persistence is really our evolving, and how we actually cultivate this character and build this character within us that evolves more and more over time. So I thought I'd do a quick video about that, and if you have any questions, of course, comment down below, but you can email me at any time. And of course, thank you so much everyone for being here, and I will chat to you soon.